Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. And in this video we're going to pick up where we left off and start configuring our draft site CAD program in order to help us to design our model railroad. So let's go ahead and open up draft site. And just real quickly, these videos aren't meant to give a tutorial on draft site. I'm just going to be giving pretty much the basic commands that you would need, or at least the ones that I need in order to do this. So those are the ones I'm going to be sharing with you. So this first video is going to be about just kind of configuring, kind of our workspace area here, and then in the next video we'll start talking about some actual CAD commands that we'll be using repetitively. So when you first open it up, actually it probably looks like that. I think I changed the view when we had installed the software. So when you open it up, it looks like that, and as I've said, you've got two views here. You've got this classic and drafting and annotations. The drafting and annotations has this ribbon up here, which is a nice layout. I'm just used to using the classic view, so I'm going to leave it like that. So if you would go ahead and change it to classic view, and then that way you can see where I'm going in order to where I'm navigating in order to get to some of these commands. So the first thing we want to do is come over here and close this this advertisement here, which is what you'll have since it's a free software. If you don't have this properties view here, which is where I'm kind of going around with my window, in other words, if it looks like that, then come down here to the command line and click in that bottom area down there and type in the word options. Excuse me, not options, not yet, properties. There we go, and it should pop up for you. Okay, now we want to take a look at options. So you could either type options in down there, or you could come up here under tools, come down to options this way. There's properties right there, which is what we just typed in. So, but let's go ahead and go to options, and this is how you configure your CAD engine to meet your specific needs. So we're not even going to look at file locations. What we are going to look at in this video is the systems options. So before I do that, as you can see here, the mouse cursor, we just have like a little box. And so what we're going to do is we're going to change this little box to some crosshairs. So let's go back under options again, and right here where it says graphics area, which is the area that we're wanting to change because that's where the mouse cursor is at. As you can see right here, it's got this display cursor as crosshairs. So go ahead and check that to true, and then I'm going to crank the size up here to about 15, which is about where I like mine to be. And then if you hit apply and then OK, then we have crosshairs there. Okay, now I don't particularly like the green along the y-axis and the red along the x-axis, so I'm just going to change them both to white. So if we go back under tools, options, and I think this is going to be under display this time. Element colors, yeah, so under element colors where we have cursor Y, cursor X, Y, and Z, so let's take that cursor X and just change that to white. Cursor Y I'm going to change to white, and cursor Z I'm going to change to white. Now you don't have to do this, you can leave them red or green, red, or red, green, and blue, I think it was. You can leave them like that. I just prefer mine to be white, so I'm going to go ahead and change them to white. So as we can see, we have a white crosshair now for our pointer. The next thing we're going to set up is the functionality for your right mouse button. So click your right mouse button and you should have the shortcut menu pop up. Okay, and what we're going to do to get out of that, by the way, just left click or hit escape, same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to go back under tools and go under options, and let's see, this time we're going to be going under user preferences, And so you can see where it says mouse options, and these last three here is what we're going to be looking at. So we have currently processing a command. In other words, if you're right in the middle of the command and you hit the right mouse button, what do you want it to do? Well, that's when we want to display the shortcut menu. Okay, and again, this is totally up to you. This is however you want to do it. When there's an entity selected, what do we want the mouse cursor to do? Well, we want it to repeat the last command. No, actually, let me back up here. Let's see. We want, if there's nothing selected, we want to repeat the last command. If there's something selected, we want to display the shortcut. Currently processing a command, we want the right mouse button to be the same as pressing enter. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so yeah, again, this is totally up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and hit apply and OK. So now if you right click, well, our last command was options, so as you can see it brings up the options window. Okay, so if you type in L for line and just left click for start point, and then left click again for the end point, and then hit escape, then we have our line drawn here. So if I select that line and then right click, I get the shortcut menu, which is what I want, because the reason I like it like this is because when you have an entity selected on the screen, then you have access, you know, as you're processing that entity, you can bring this into the processing phase of that entity, and you can delete it, move it, copy it, whatever. Let's just delete that. So that's the reason I have that. That's the reason I prefer to have it set up like that. Again, it's totally up to you. I don't want these videos to be too long because I want to kind of keep them separated so that so that as you're using this and maybe you forget something, then you can go back and review the video without having to go through 20 minutes worth of video. So by the way, these changes we're making, they're persistent. So if you close down the program and open it back up, then as you can see here, my changes are still persisting, so exit that out there. Okay, so the only other thing that I want to show right now is down here in the command, we just have this, we have these a colon down here. So what I want to do is I want to change the way that looks. So I'm going to come up here to tools, and this is more reminiscent of what AutoCAD actually looks like. It'll have like command colon instead of just colon. So if we come up here to system options and then go to display command window text, so command line text, so right there I'm just going to type in the word command. And this has absolutely nothing to do with how the program actually operates. All it does is it helps your eye to find the command line a lot quicker, because right now they just have the colon down there. So I'm going to hit apply, and there you go. You can see the word command down there. I mean, you could type in anything down there you wanted to. So guys, that's it for this tutorial, and in the next tutorial we'll start to configure a little bit more. Thank you.